It's Monday, December 30th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. A lot to talk about. I'm going to share a bunch of articles with you. Feel free to comment down below on any of this. I want to start with this first one today. This has been floating around all over the internet on a lot of different news channels. Donald Trump warns U.S. may be forced into economic depression as $36 trillion debt crisis spirals out of control. You can already see the writing on the wall. This administration, the present administration right now, sending so much money to other countries. We are racking up so much debt right now, and we have been for many, many years. And of course, this is going to be thrown on the lap of the new administration. We've got the debt ceiling, we've got the wars. It's unbelievable how much debt we are producing every minute in this country. And Trump is warning that we're going to be forced into a 1929 style depression as the debt crisis spirals out of control. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this. He's already warning us what is coming. He already knows what they're doing. This is going to get messy in 2025. Again, let me know your thoughts on this. Can it be avoided? I don't think so. And as we're talking about the debt crisis, as we're talking about another Great Depression, Dow closes down 400 points as Wall Street limps into year end. Now, what was interesting about today is earlier when I woke up and I turned on Fox Business, market was down 700. Dow was down 725 points. I think it was down near 800 points at one point. It started coming back. 10-year bond yield was 4.53. Yesterday, I think it was, what was it, 4.63? So you know the Fed is in there buying bonds, that's for sure. But going back to what happened with the Dow being down almost 800 points earlier today, then at one point it was only down around 225 points, closed down though 418 points. But we're witnessing this volatility. You're witnessing the Fed coming in and buying bonds, trying to cool things down. This market was getting out of control really, really quick this morning. So the invisible hand came in and calmed everything down, even though we were still down 418 points. NASDAQ down 235. Bitcoin, as I make this video, down 1,700. Sitting at 91,800. Gold was down $13, sitting at 26.06. And as I said earlier, the 10-year bond yield at 4.53. Very crazy volatility. The invisible hand is definitely behind the scenes pulling some of the levers for sure. But I think that we're going to see a crazy year in regards to the stock market 2025. And I think that this next administration is going to have their hands full with a failing economy, a failing stock market, a failing housing market, a failing commercial real estate market, a failing bond market, you name it. Things are going to fail. U.S. credit card defaults soar to highest level in 14 years. Fox Business. Credit card defaults jumped 50% in 2024. The bottom third of the U.S. consumers are tapped out, and they have absolutely zero in savings. This is a huge concern, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into 2025. And I've been making these videos for years, begging people, get the debts paid off, avoid going into debt, don't use these credit cards, pay cash, don't live over your heads here. Because what is coming is going to be catastrophic, and it's going to be extremely catastrophic for people who are drowning in debt. Loan balances have more than doubled. People are not paying off the balances. The balances are getting bigger at 23, 25, 27, 30%. The credit card bubble isn't just popping, it says. It's a full-blown warning siren for the economy. Somebody wrote this actually on X today. Let me repeat this. The credit card bubble isn't just popping. It's a full-blown warning siren for the economy. So right now we're looking at rising inflation, sky-high interest rates, and people have zero savings. This is a really deadly combination for the average American as we head into, as Trump just said, quite possibly a depression. We're heading into something very, very bad in 2025. Household debt, $17.94 trillion. You look at mortgage debt in America, 12.59 trillion. Auto loans, 1.64 trillion. Student loan debt, 1.61 trillion. Credit card debt, 1.17 trillion. And it goes on and on and on. This is really concerning, ladies and gentlemen. I know that people are very optimistic about 2025. I am too, but we cannot be naive here. We've got to understand the danger that this country is in financially. You've got to be connecting the dots right now. You've got to be paying attention. You've got to be protecting yourself financially. Wolfstreet.com, San Francisco house prices dropped back to 2019. Condo prices back to 2015 as tech jobs in the city and Silicon Valley evaporate after drunken hiring binge. So we're seeing more layoffs. And I bring this up because what you're seeing happening in San Francisco in the job market, in the real estate market, this is going to happen in many other places across America, and it's happening right now. We look at San Francisco. Home prices are down 15.4% from the peak of 2022. So if you bought a house just 2 years ago for $1 million in San Francisco, which is basically a shack, you've already lost over $150,000. You've already lost $150,000. And if you don't have a job, you don't have a house. And we're going to see this take place throughout the country. People with good income cannot afford a house right now. What happens when those people lose their jobs or their spouse loses a job? It's not going to be easy to go buy a house. And we're going to see more problems in the housing market. Another one from wolfstreet.com. Buyer's strike continues. Pending home sales remain deep in the frozen zone through up a tad from rock bottom. Pending home sales plunged 20.1% from October to November. If we look at the sales plunge, if we go back to November of 2022, pending sales are actually up 4.4%. If we go back to November 2021, pending home sales are down 33.5%. November 2020, pending home sales are down 37.2%. November of 2019, pending home sales are down 26.9%. And remember, roughly about 20% of pending home sales fall out of escrow. They do not close. So another big concern. Here's one from The Hedge today. Chicago PMI plummets near health crisis lows as small business and CEO confidence soars. So if we look under the hood here, a couple highlights. New orders fell at a faster pace, signaling contraction. Employment fell at a slower pace, signaling contraction. Inventories fell at a faster pace, signaling contraction. Production fell at a faster pace, signaling contraction. Order backlogs fell at a slower pace, signaling contraction. This is not good news as we head into 2025. And I think maybe now, I don't know, it's weird, but maybe the markets are beginning to recognize this. I don't know. We know that the markets are extremely manipulated, but we're going to see a lot more real data coming out beginning January of 2025. Less manipulation. Why? We have a new administration. They're going to blame it on somebody. It's going to be this administration. Just my thoughts. Government spending will cause the next financial crisis. This also on The Hedge today. Protect yourself, ladies and gentlemen, from currency debasement. Please protect yourself. I don't give financial advice. I just share with you daily what I'm doing, what people around me are doing. I think that with the pullback in metals, this is a great time to buy some gold and silver, especially gold. Way less volatile. I would be looking at gold right now. Again, not financial advice. If you need a good place, you need a recommendation, go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Crises are never caused by building excessive exposure to high-risk assets. Crisis can only happen when investors and government bodies and households accumulate risk and assets where most believe there is little to no risk. Nvidia, Bitcoin, government bonds, etc. People for years have been ignoring the risk. They don't believe anything bad can happen. There can be no collapse. There can be no correction. Things go up forever. These people are really gambling. They are really rolling the dice here, ladies and gentlemen. I truly do believe we're going to see big trouble in 2025. We've seen big trouble already in 2024. We have inflation running out of control. We've got wars running out of control. We got debts and deficits out of control. We have crime out of control. We are absolutely out of control at this point. And anybody who says, where's the collapse? There's something wrong with you. You need to wake up. You need help. You need to open your eyes. This is a very slow collapse, and it's been going on for years. And it continues and continues and it continues to get worse. Open your eyes. Look, maybe you're worth multi-millions of dollars and living in Laguna Beach, and you have your groceries delivered and somebody drives you around a Rolls Royce. Maybe at that point you're in a bubble and you just don't see these things and you're oblivious to it. But the average person going to the grocery store, writing out a check for their health insurance, their auto insurance, their property taxes, they understand that things are collapsing right now and they cannot keep up with the price of bacon, steak, chicken, you name it. They just cannot do it. People cannot cut any more out of their life. They are tapped out on the credit cards. They have no savings. They're in big trouble. So if you don't believe things are collapsing, you obviously are worth multi-millions of dollars, or you're just fooling and lying to yourself. Newsweek, Joe Biden announces huge $2.5 billion boost to Ukraine's defense. Who is paying for this? Well, of course, we're paying for this. How is this not going to be even more inflationary when we're paying for this? Here's another one. Biden unveils $5.9 billion in military and budget aid to Ukraine as pre-Trump surge continues. This on the Hedge today. Again, how is this not going to be inflationary? They cannot write checks fast enough before this new administration comes in. They are racking up billions and billions and billions of dollars more of debt. They're going to hand it over to you. This will be passed down to your kids. This is absolutely, to me, criminal what is going on, and they're really just trying to lay booby traps for the next administration. They don't care what happens to the American people. They don't care what happens to this country. They just care, it seems to me, about just destruction. They're creating massive amounts of inflation. What they're doing with the wall, what they were trying to do, selling it off for 5 cents on the dollar after we all paid for that. I mean, absolutely criminal, in my opinion. This is not political. This is right versus wrong. We have people in North Carolina literally living in teepees while it's snowing outside, and we're handing over almost another $6 billion in military and budget aid. This is absolutely atrocious. It's repulsive. It is criminal, in my opinion. And again, it's not political. It is right versus wrong. We need to be taking care of our own people right now, not cutting checks for another $6 billion. U.S. Treasury says Chinese hackers stole documents in major incident. We don't know the impact yet of how bad this really was, but this was on Reuters. U.S. Treasury Department said a state-sponsored Chinese hacking operation was able to use third-party software to access the desktop computers of Treasury employees. They're calling this a major incident. They were able, this Chinese hacker or hackers were able to override certain security measures and access workstations. We don't know what they got, how much they got, but apparently they got something. And we are quite vulnerable, ladies and gentlemen. We are very, very vulnerable. So while we're sending billions of dollars all over the world, while we're sending munitions, while we've depleted our strategic oil reserves, we cannot even now protect the computers at the Treasury Department. We are very, very vulnerable, ladies and gentlemen. Balloons flying over, drones flying over. You talk about a collapse. We have literally a security collapse here in America. And now all this technology, sophisticated technology that is surpassing America, hypersonic missiles, the White Emperor jet that China just came out with, all of this technology, computer technology, where they can, break into the Treasury Department, water treatment facilities, other agencies, colleges, hospitals, it's absolute military bases. It just goes on and on. Banks. We are just, who knows, days away, months away from something really, really big happening. And anybody that just believes that nothing bad can happen to America, you better start really paying attention to what is going on and what is happening right now behind the scenes. The technology they have now to hack into our agencies is very, very scary. And we're going to wake up one day and you're going to turn on your lights, you're going to turn on your water, you're going to turn on your gas. None of it's going to work. You're going to look at your bank account on your computer or on your phone. It's not going to work. Then you're going to rush to an ATM or to your bank and they're going to be closed. The doors are closed, the ATMs are down, and you're only going to have yourself to blame. Because if you didn't know, with all these warning signs, what was coming and the potential of what was to come, and you did nothing about it, you did not prepare, then you can only blame the person in the mirror. There's no politician, there's no banker, there's nobody to blame but yourself. Please make sure you are preparing on a daily basis, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. We have never lived in a more threatening time than the time we're in right now. Please heed the warning, ladies and gentlemen. Be preparing, be aware of what's going on, do your due diligence, look out for your family. I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Please be careful out there. Please pray for this country. Pray for this next administration. Pray for peace. God bless. Take care.